Podcast. And just to let you know, if you're loving the show, do us a quick favor and hit that follow button, give us a like, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Whether you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, your support helps us bring the heat each and every week. Also, follow us on all over social media. Just click on the link in the chat box or the description box to keep up with Sports Bros podcast. Also, we just reached our 100th subscriber to our YouTube channel.
We
So,
did?
yes, we sure did. Got the notification. It says you have subscriber 100. I said, oh,
Are all their last names Vereen?
no, no, not at all. I don't know whose last name was on there, but to the 100th subscriber, we thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. Which means the rest of y'all, if you like what's going on here, follow us all over our socials, as I said earlier, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever they call it. Just go ahead and follow us, right? I go by the name of Eddie Cool, aka the HOC, and enough of my house cleaning, housekeeping, that is. I got two of the best codes in the world.
Nothing wrong with a clean house either, though, Eddie Cole. Nothing wrong with a clean house.
Oh, no. Got to have a clean house and a clean arse. All right. Yes, I did say that for everybody to hear and see. Introducing first, coming to you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's the director. He's pushing all the buttons, making all the fancy graphics happen. He is the one, the only, the all. Might it be live?
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Eddie Cool. I'm glad you mentioned our 100th subscriber on YouTube because as we speak right now, we have been doing Facebook Live last week and we're doing Facebook Live right now.
We are?
But say hi to YouTube Live today.
YouTube, what's happening? This is the Sports Bros podcast. Coming at you live and direct. Come holler at your boys.
On multiple platforms. I'm trying to tell you, we're doing big things. Episode 300 is coming up too, but man, we're right now in the here and now, episode 297, and man, oh man, we are in the thick of things. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, and we're going to talk about it. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about a NHL playoff that's free of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're going to talk about an NBA playoffs that's free of the Los Angeles Lakers. And we're going to talk might sprinkle in a little PGA Championship. And as much as we let's just go ahead and introduce the other guy, and then we'll get into all of those topics. Yes, sir.
All right, here's the other guy. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. He is the one, the only, the legend himself, the money man, Scotty D.
Here I am, rocks you like a hurricane. Woo! Our boys did it into the conference final.
No. Who is we?
Who is we?
We are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and kudos to both of you guys for making this happen. This putting together the live things and the stuff that you guys, technical stuff. I mean, I couldn't do it. It's already hard enough just being the star, like the front man of the group, but to have you guys help support and do this other stuff, greatly appreciated.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to tell you right now, this is a total group effort, okay? This is a total group effort.
It sure is.
Scott, you've gone YouTube Live before. You've done it for Trinity and everything. You're doing as much, if not more.
I did?
You said, well, I'm going off of what you tell us, so.
Oh.
Okay. Lord.
I think I did, actually. I think I did go live on YouTube before.
Just saying,
Yeah.
Check out Trinity Hillers on YouTube.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And check out my boy doing. But you play-by-play as well, right?
Yeah, we did play-by-play live on YouTube. I did a couple pre-game interviews with a couple of the Hiller pitchers. Yeah, I did. I'm about this life.
That's what I'm saying.
Scotty D said he liked that. He liked that. He liked that.
Yeah, it's like that.
Man. There you go. It's like that. With that being said, man, hey, we firing all cylinders. Be Live, hit the graphic. You want to know why? Let's go ahead and hop right into it.
Oh, we got a graphic?
Of the order. We sure. All right. Let's get this.
Doing it.
Yep, he got a whole graphic over here. All right, and with that being said, and then there were four. We're talking about the NBA Finals. two teams left in the East, two teams left in the West. We have the Knicks and the Pacers. Something, yep, Scotty, four of them. The Knicks and the Pacers. Something I think was a part of the WWE script. In the words of B Live, the greatest form of long storm. You know what I'm saying? Long form storytelling. If I can get
There it
the
is.
yeah,
There
there
it
it is.
is.
Yeah, we live, baby. We're going live. We're doing it. Yeah, long form storytelling. That's what I was looking for. With the Pacers and the Knicks, and in the Western Conference, we got SGA and the crew versus
Minnesota
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
the Timberwolves. My notes are kind of clouded versus the Timberwolves. So, with that being said, fellas, it's going to be an exciting series. A lot of people think like the finals are going to be boring. I don't. And with that being said, which series seems to be most exciting, and which one are you looking forward to the most? Scotty D, I'll start with you.
I feel like the Knicks Pacers is the one that is the more natural rivalry because there is history there. Not so much with these guys, but back in the '90s, this was a big rivalry when Reggie was throwing up the choke sign to Spike Lee, and Patrick Ewing was trying to get over the hump, over the Bulls hump, and then here come the Pacers, and I feel like that's a more natural rivalry. And neither of these teams were expected to be. I mean, this was not predicted to be the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think. On this show, we all were riding the Celtics, and the Knicks. The Knicks had other plans, and that's I think even if Jason Tatum does not get hurt, I think the Knicks are going to win that series because they were about to go up 3-1 when he got hurt, and they just they looked good and they looked hungry. Indiana, the same thing, uh, unexpected but playing well. I think there's a chance for more fireworks among these two teams. It just seems like a more like old school, natural, could get kind of physical type of series, I think, than the Western Conference one. The Western Conference, be like, you can allude to this a little bit more because you've watched it a little bit more. It seems like it might be the more athletically gifted track meet type of series, whereas the East seems like it could be more physical.
Well, and I'll pound on that just a little bit because I think the Western Conference has more star power, but the Eastern Conference just has that old school,
Yeah.
really like that natural rivalry. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you almost in the Western Conference Finals, you almost have a battle for the face of the league between SGA and Ant Man. Like, and the thing is one of those things where you can make the argument for either or. Ant Man has that, like, he pretty much is already that star, that the face of the league. SGA has been doing what SGA does, a little bit behind the shadows, but now he's emerging as a MVP favorite this year.
He's probably
And
going
so,
to be the MVP this year, right?
probably,
Yeah.
and it's because and see, people gonna make that argument, Jokic, the Joker fatigue and everything, because Joker, he's still done his thing, or whatever. But I think they're gonna pass the mantle to SGA this year for MVP. And so now you got SGA versus Ant-Man, and that series. You got Rudy Gobert versus Chet Holmgren. Like, it's gonna be a battle. Rudy Gobert is playing inspired basketball right now. So I mean, it's gonna be very interesting watching that. On the East, like you said before, Indiana versus New York. That is literally, Reggie Miller is going to be on the call for those
Oh,
games.
yeah, nice.
That's what I'm saying. So that's already,
And Spike will be there.
that's already gonna add that spice to that series, and just like old school meets new school. The Knicks fans are just, oh my god! Have you seen some of the videos of Knicks fans in the middle of New York City? Like, they've been ridiculous, and because it's been so long. I'm gonna throw this out to you real quick. The last time the Knicks, and I'm gonna give you the last time all four of these teams have won have won a title. The Knicks won the 1973 NBA title. The Pacers won the 1973 ABA title. The Oklahoma City Thunder were the Seattle Supersonics when they won it back in 1979. And the Minnesota Timberwolves have never won an NBA title. That's how long it's been since either of these four teams have won a championship. So it is fresh blood. I'm here for it. For all the naysayers saying all the big names are not in it and everything, kill all that noise. I think this is what the NBA needed because the NBA was just dying of the old guard. Give me new, fresh blood, and we got it right here, right now. Sometimes we shouldn't cater to the casual fan. We should really get back to grassroots, get back to the nitty gritty of how basketball is supposed to be played, and that's what I love about playoff NBA basketball because regular season sucks, but you get the real deal. I hate it for the players that get injured because that does play a factor, and it's one of those things where you're going to even incur more load management because so many players are getting hurt in the postseason. I don't know what to tell you at this point in time, but right now this is where the rubber meets the road. These are the teams that have grinded through and through and made it through all of the adversity and now made it to their respective conference finals. And I'm absolutely here for it. Let's go. I will be watching every single game.
Yep, I'm highly excited about it too. And with that being said, looking at the schedule here in front of me, game one Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. on the four-letter network ESPN, and that is the Western Conference Finals. Game one, Timberwolves at OKC, and then Wednesday the 21st, game one, the Pacers at the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. I'm also looking forward to it as well too because we get to see Brunson versus Halliburton, and then we get to see SGA and crew versus Ant-Man and them. It's going to be a whole lot going on. It's going to be a whole lot going on in a good way. And I'm with you, Be Live. Let's freshen up a little bit. Let's shake things up a little bit. You know, this for the first time in forever. There's no Golden State. There's no Cavs. There's no Heat. There's no usual suspects. And there's no Nuggets. It's always good to see something.
I got a question for you fellas.
What's up?
What prompted the WWE to bring both Brunson and Halliburton in the same ring? Like, what was the storyline for that?
I think they were at Madison Square Garden for a SmackDown taping. If anybody there knows the story, go ahead and tell it. And
I forget. I watched it. I don't remember what the content was.
I think they were in the MSG at the same time.
Was it LA Knight was he the face with
Brunson and Logan Paul was with Halliburton. And what happened was, yes, Tyrese Halliburton went to one of Logan Paul's boys who snuck him some brass knuckles and tried to stick him to Logan Paul, and Jalen Brunson humped the guardrail. He said, "Wait a minute, motorcycle, you're not about to do this." And so hence now we have art imitating real life. I'm happy for it. I was like, if this, I'm like, the script or not, injury or not, but I'm like, you know what? I'm like,
WWE got so lucky with this, like, because they have to milk it.
This is like Rodman and the Mailman.
Right.
Ain't that something? Yeah. What is it? That damn near 30 years later?
Yeah.
Yep. So here we go. All right. With that being said,
I'll tell you, I've been very critical of the NBA, but what I am liking right now is that this will be 6 years now where we haven't had a repeat of the previous finals. New teams every year. I like that. I mean, unless it would be the Lakers every year, in which case I would tolerate it. But typically, the other major sports don't have 4 straight years of the same two teams facing each other in the finals, or like.
Well, I mean, we went through that with the Warriors and the Heat all those years, and then Warriors, Cleveland, and then it was just like, can anybody want to step up and do something?
Yeah, and the Spurs and the Heat played each other a couple times, but and going along with what you're saying, these are going to be two different teams again this year. It's going to be a new champion yet again. I don't think we've had a repeat since 18, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't 2019 the year of the Raptors, and that kind of changed everything going from there. I don't think we've had a repeat in that time. So I kind of like that aspect of the NBA of seeing somebody different have a chance every year. I'm looking forward to seeing the new stars. The most likely MVP of this season against a guy who will most likely be an MVP at some point. And for my money, I don't know if you can pulled Jalen Brunson out of the top 3 or 4 best players in the NBA right now. He has been really that good the last couple of years and kind of peaking right now. So that should be box office right there.
Oh, absolutely, man. I am here for it. Let's go.
All right. So with that
I
being
just wish we
said,
could get Bronny in there. If we could get Bronny, a
Oh,
little airtime.
it'll be quick. All right. So real quick, who's gonna win the East? Scotty D.
I'm going Brunson. I think Brunson's gonna pull him through.
Brunson. Okay.
Brunson and the cat.
Yep. In 5 or 4?
ah,
6.
6. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Knicks in 6. So you can say. So Scott says Indiana Pacer, pace car, pacemaker. Don't matter. Knicks in 6. Be live. What say you?
you're weird. I, man, I'm looking at how much Carl Anthony Towns, how productive he's going to be, because he could be a game changer. Because the Indiana Pacers don't really have someone to match up with him.
Mm-mm.
So I think it's going to be knockout drag out 5, but I'm going to say Knicks in 7.
Okay.
I'm going to go Knicks in 7. The New York Knicks making it to the NBA Finals.
Okay. For the first time in
How
forever.
about
All right.
that?
Yeah.
How about
Going
that,
out.
Stephen A?
Yeah. Oh, he'll be so insufferable.
Oh man, good
Um.
boy.
And with that being said, going out west, who we got?
I'm sticking with OKC.
Okay.
It, like I said, this is. I feel like they are doing what needs to be done. Ant-Man is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. This it's tough, but I'm going to go OKC in 7. They're playing well. I just feel like
You're going 2 7-game series, huh?
2-7. I think both of these series are very evenly matched.
I
It's that
think
time of the year.
OKC wins in 5.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think they're
Ooh.
going to frustrate. I think they're going to target Gobert, frustrate Gobert, push him around, get him out of the paint because he has been playing well. I think OKC in 5. They're 19 games better in the regular season. I think they're just a better team. I think Minnesota's had a heck of a run and they run out of steam right here.
So Scotty D says Timberwolves, Teen Wolf, Beowulf. Don't matter. Thunder in 5. There we go.
Yes.
I'm using all of them. I'm using every last single one of them. All right. So that comes that
So, question. So, you think Alex Caruso can handle Rudy Gobert like he handled the Joker?
Boy, I think they might want to get some help in there.
they're gonna have to.
But the Joker's better than Gobert. I just think that the game plan is going to be to try to not let Gobert get into the lane and have his way with these guys. I think that Ant-Man's getting his points. He is who he is. So there's only so much you can do. But I just think you got to try to take away the lane and beat him on the boards, and that's how you do it, by trying to get. Because Gobert is kind of an emotional guy. He'll get frustrated and throw an elbow or pick up a technical, or I think that's kind of the way you got to go with it.
Or get beat up.
There was a funny article I read. It was considered for my pepper points, but I'm not going to do it like that. But Gobert did divorce his wife and kicked out his 1-year-old right before the playoffs.
Boy, I saw that and I was like, cold blooded.
So I'm just saying, and shoot. What one game he went 27 and 24, could not be stopped. Like, hey, sometimes you got dead weight, and F them kids. All right.
That's what he says. All right, so real quick, fellas. Was it last week the draft lottery came about? Anybody not surprised by the Mavericks all of a sudden winning the draft lottery?
Of course, we're surprised about that because they had a 1.8% chance. Like, that's just they're screaming conspiracy with that. You know me. Some things I'm like that. That don't even the amount of people that have to be involved for that to actually be a conspiracy. It just dumb freaking luck. But Nico Harrison should not have a job. This is dumb. This is dumb luck that he met that happened for him. But man, I wish my my Hornets would least like, can we get this would have been the year that get Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good Lord. But it is what it is, whatever. It's a lottery for whatever reason. The 1.8% chance won. And so let me see if I can go out and win pick out a lottery ticket, and my 0.0038% chance makes me someone rich. All right. I'm not holding my breath.
No, Scotty, do you think it's a coinky dink or just happenstance or
Oh
whatever?
yeah, I mean it's just dumb luck. Like the
Yeah.
Magic getting back-to-back #1 picks years and years ago, and it turned out to be Shaq and Penny or Weber.
Yeah.
It was actually Weber, and they traded for Penny.
Yeah, became Penny. All right. So with that being said, you're getting ready for the finals. With that being said, speaking of championships, you remember we made our PGA championship picks last week, and we had to pick anybody but Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Scotty D said that he put that stipulation on us just so we think outside the box. And
Right.
how did
As I
that work
said,
out?
I really think he's going to win it, but let's just think outside the box. And man,
And old Scotty Scheffler said, "Oh, you thinking out the box? Watch this." And Scotty Scheffler wins another doggone major. Fellas, is there much to talk about?
he's
Well,
great. He's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It wasn't too much pressure on to him for the majority part of the I mean, he faced a little adversity at the later part of the front nine, and John Rahm was coming on strong, and then he wasn't anymore. Like,
Well, he was erratic with his driver until the 10th hole, and then once he
right,
got that back on track, cruise control.
it was a Scotty Scheffler that we all know, and John Rahm kept trying to reach, and his shot just fell apart. Um, we were talking about the big goof and how that one putt cost them some money, and then they gave it right back to him because
Yeah.
nobody wanted to be under 6 under. So it was like, all right, cool. And Scotty Scheffler's like, you know what, I got it. And me's a
And
little 11 under, 5-stroke lead.
and once again, the live golfers looking on from the sidelines as no trophy coming their way. And maybe that's John Rahm's problem. He's a live golfer. He's playing 3 rounds. He ran out of gas halfway through round 4.
Yeah, we had a strong comeuppance, but yeah, just felt, and man, like, how do you stop the bleeding in a situation like that? Because like he cost himself so much money by continually, like, at some point in time you gotta, like, I'm not gonna catch this dude. Like,
Yeah. Well, he really blew his chance then when he was still within I think 2 strokes on the 15th hole, which is a par 5, and he had a booming drive off the tee, and then he hit a ball that didn't stick to the green, rolled just off, so he still has a chance to get close and tap in birdie. He rolled it past there and ended up making par. Right behind him, Scheffler made birdie, and the balloon to a 2-shot, maybe 3-shot lead, and then from there it was at that point he knew he couldn't play conservative and Scheffler could, and he went flag hunting and paid the price. That 17th hole par 3, that's a long par 3. He didn't play just to get it on the green. He played to get it close to make a birdie putt, and he ended up in the water. And that was end of game. As soon as we saw the ripple over,
splashed.
yeah,
It was, oh yeah. I mean, it was over before then, like 15, like Scheffler had a 4-stroke lead going on when he was going into 16. Cruise control, you can play up, you don't need to be aggressive on the green mile, and that's where, and that's too easy for him. But
and that 18th fairway is so narrow, man. That's a tough. If you hit it right, you're in the trees. You hit it left, you're in the creek, I guess they say outside of Western country. But
and then and there was a couple shots where they're playing on the left side of the creek. I was like, well, how did you do that?
Yeah.
But man, it's always a pleasure watching like the later rounds. The fourth round on a Sunday, chatting it up with Scotty D of these major tournaments is always a pleasure.
And right now, the best golfer in the world won the latest biggest tournament going. I mean, he won himself a major. So
Clear cut number one.
Third major. So he's had 2 Masters, correct, and now the PGA Championship. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see this guy win a Grand Slam, each one at some point. Maybe this year. I mean, he already has the PGA Championship with the U.S. Open coming. I'm not sure. U.S. Open's up here in Pittsburgh area at Oakmont. I'm not sure where the British is being played this year, or the Open Championship. But I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility this guy can pull that off, a career Grand Slam. But he's the best golfer in the world right now, and he proved it again on Sunday. And he's playing well. Like earlier this year, he wasn't playing very well. It's only been over the last month or so where he started really kind of getting his game back together. But next stop is the U.S. Open. As far as majors go, we're halfway through the majors already this year.
And Eddie Cool's muted. All right.
I'm a rookie. No, I have muted because I was clearing my throat and I didn't want to be all breathing into the mic and all that. But with that being said, yeah, he's a winner. He's a winner. He's well on his way to being one of the best of all time. And he's like, what, only 29?
Yeah, I don't even think he's 29 yet, 28 or 29. Right there, yeah.
Woo.
Yep. He's got a long career ahead of him still.
Yeah, which means you probably got another 15, maybe 20 years left with Scottie Scheffler. Like, hey, just,
Yeah, easily another 15 years of like prime peak, 12 years of peak Scottie Scheffler left still, yeah.
Yeah. So so get from if you aren't familiar with the name already, get familiar with the name Scottie Scheffler. With that being said, looking at my phone because I have yet to get a watch because it'll never happen anytime soon. Guess what time it is?
Time for the NHL playoffs, baby. Because shoot.
Oh, the NHL playoffs?
That's what time it is. Where you going?
Yeah, we are cruising. We
are. Yeah, we are cruising. So okay, so let's go ahead and
knocked
talk about
out the Capitals.
Yep, we got the Hurricanes, and then we got the Capitals in the Eastern Conference Finals. And
we knocked out the Capitals.
Not the Capitals, but I'm sorry. The Panthers, the Florida Panthers.
Because nothing speaks hockey postseason like Florida versus Carolina.
we have Winnipeg made it right. It was Winnipeg versus Dallas.
Dallas. Right? I think it is. I think it's Winnipeg versus Dallas. Let me go look at our research department. Yeah, so go ahead and be live and let's talk about these Hurricanes, these jerks. I hear people saying like, the Hurricanes will play an entertaining brand of hockey, but it's effective. It's effective.
Did I say Winnipeg? I meant Edmonton.
Edmonton and Dallas, yeah.
Edmonton and Dallas, Florida and Carolina. And you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this when it comes to this. I honestly think it's the Facebook algorithm. Because how can I see this much negativity about a team that just beat one of the best teams in hockey all year? The Capitals have been playing top-notch hockey, and we handled them. And then I've seen stories about they call them the Hurricanes boring. How boring is it that we throw the puck to the net 50 times a game? Puck crosses blue line, puck goes towards net. Rebound, puck goes towards net again. Pass, puck goes towards net. Rob Brindamore, his strategy is throw the puck towards the net as many times as you can. And it has worked out beautifully. And we've shot more goals than every other team we faced. Well, I'm trying to figure out how is that boring hockey? Is it just because Raleigh, North Carolina, is it big enough for you?
That you know what? That's exactly that's what it is.
But I guarantee you step into Lenovo Center, aka the former PNC Arena, you gonna hear us.
Raleighwood, baby.
You gonna hear us.
It's not a traditional city. It's the South. What do Southern Americans know about hockey? Well, we do have a Stanley Cup. Something that the team in Hartford couldn't do, but they came to this nice weather down here.
New Jersey couldn't beat us.
And they couldn't beat us.
DC couldn't beat us.
They couldn't beat us.
The Rangers hating on the outside. They can't even get in.
Islanders can't stand us.
Islanders can't beat us. Flyers can't beat us.
Yeah, they
The
can't beat
Penguins can't beat us.
The Florida Panthers can't beat us.
The Penguins can't beat us.
Oh, they could. They could.
I say, no.
They
See,
could. They could.
yeah. They can't even get in either.
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's like that. Nah, shoot,
Here
Reese
I
gotta
am, rocked you like a hurricane.
be perfect timing for that song, man. I swear it is. I swear it is. So it's gonna be an interesting series. I thought the
Hey, we owe Florida though, because 2 years ago they swept us
yeah,
in the Eastern Conference Final. We owed them. And here's a little known fact that it's a little disgusting.
yeah.
The Hurricanes are 0 for 12 in the last three Eastern Conference Finals.
Why?
Swept, and swept.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, just
We need to correct that this year. We're going to correct that.
Me and Eddie, we need to correct that. You need to correct your Penguins. Your Penguins.
Yeah.
well, you know they did get a new coach, so that's a good thing. So
I couldn't name one person on Carolina's roster.
you could.
But you got to put some stank on it. Stank over. We acquired him from Dallas, and so there's a lot of people that are hoping for a Carolina Dallas Stanley Cup, because we did have a major trade happen that seemed to have put both teams, have corrected the paths of both teams, and now they're in their respective conference championships. So, man, it's going to be nice on the ice. It's going to be crazy on the basketball court. We are here for it. Yes, sir. Now you can pull out that phone and see what time it is.
All right, now's the proper time for it. Looking at my phone because I've yet to get a watch. Guess what time it is?
What time is it? What's happening? What time is it? What you need? What you got?
I'm glad you asked. It's time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choice of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming at you after this small little break right here on the Sports Bros podcast. Be back in a few. Be back in 2 and 2. Stick still.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
Ever so lovely, Miss Button.
for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices, where we ask you the question, you give us the answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros podcast. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for this week?
On tap, while we were asking last week, we were talking about collapses, like team collapses, as far as blowing leads or being out in front of standings and blowing it. This week, we're talking more about like individual behavioral meltdowns, guys who just lost it on the field or in the interview room or on the sidelines. And we had a couple good, interesting ones here, Eddie Cool.
All
What
right.
did the people? What did the people say?
I got you. Real quick to our listeners and viewers, if you post something on our Choice of the Voices that's just a picture, make sure you add a caption, please, so that way it'll make it easier for me to understand when I read your question. With that being said, Abram King, he says, the malice in the palace. That was a total team meltdown on both teams.
Yeah, Pacers and Pistons. That was craziness. Ron
Very,
Artest laying on a table up in the stands.
yeah. Next thing you know, he was on the table and in the stands, and jerseys getting torn, and people getting body slammed, clothesline, and suplexes. Yeah, it was be live. You remember that was the same weekend of the Clemson and South Carolina fight?
Oh yeah.
Same weekend.
Yeah. And we got banned from postseason play and that was a self-imposed ban, but man.
Yeah, us too. we were both bad. We were both like what 6-5. Both teams were 6-5. Just like
Yeah, it was we needed to sit one out on that one, but
yeah. You don't deserve to go no bowl game. All right, TB Tony Bogan, what's up, man? He says Kurt Busch's radio during the 2012 Southern 500 at Darlington. Was he saying some things he wasn't supposed to say?
Yeah, we're talking about sports.
Here you go.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, so Kurt Busch's radio. I'm not too clear on what happened about that. I don't know if it was.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Man, he gave us a link, and none of us didn't. First of all, I apologize ahead of time because because we have a DEI person on the Sports Bros podcast, that he would be our NASCAR representative, and everything.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He not with it.
No. No.
Oh man, you guys
you're supposed to be like you're a golf guy. Like you're supposed to I figure that's supposed to go hand in hand. Allow me to handle soccer. That's me. But that
I watch basketball with you guys. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that redneck sport.
Oh God. Here we go.
I love it. I love it. And just for the record, we're not necessarily reaching out to NASCAR fans. That's not I don't think that's really ever been our
demographic.
Nah. Yeah, that ain't it. Ain't gonna be that.
Bush Light and tank tops and sunburns.
Oh boy! All right, Tony Bogan said former Tennessee Titan Albert Haynesworth stomping on a player. He stomped on a Cowboy.
Yeah, Andre Gerard, I think is who it was.
Yep, Andre Gerard. Yep, and then throwing a tantrum after getting rightfully ejected. And former Cleveland Indian Trevor Bauer tossing the ball over the center field wall after getting pulled from the start. Oh yeah, he was hot as fish grease on that. I remember that like yesterday. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. All right. Tom Winner Chicken Dinner. He says Woody Hayes gets the nod as nut job as well as nut job Jimmy Pearsall.
Pearsall.
You know anything about this one, Be Live?
Yes. I
what happened?
Ohio State, the Ohio State versus Clemson. I believe this was the 1978 Fiesta Bowl.
77, 78.
Was it Fiesta?
Was it Fiesta?
It was whatever it was. It was Ohio State versus Clemson.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was the Orange Bowl, but I might be wrong.
Okay, yeah. Either way, it was before I was born, but I saw enough highlights.
Okay.
It was before I was born, but I've seen the highlights for me to dislike Woody Hayes, and the fact that it was Clemson beating Ohio State that got Woody Hayes fired, because during that game he was upset with Clemson celebrating after they put foot to ass and beat Ohio State I think it was 17-15, and Woody Hayes decided he wanted to throw a punch at one of the Clemson players in the last 2 minutes.
He had the nerve to intercept the pass.
Right, he was just
and then run towards their sideline.
And Woody Hayes threw a punch at a player and was subsequently fired after the game. Good riddance to you, Woody Hayes. Indeed, Ohio State University and their 1-4 record against my Clemson Tigers. Thank you, Scotty D, for that segue. I greatly appreciate it, because I was sitting on it.
I thought you might want to talk about that one. I thought that might have even been on your list.
Well, it was not. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm pulling up something real quick because I was putting together graphics and everything like that. Because on my side, I'm over here like I even got the graphic hiding my face, but here's my face, ladies and gentlemen. But we got graphics going along with the choice of the voices. And for those that are featured with the choice of the voices, I took your Facebook picture. It's sort of like a public domain. So my bad. If you want to reach out to us via email, like, hey, you don't have the right to do so because I'm ugly.
We'll take it down.
But no, we want to feature feature the voices. We are by the fan, for the fan. So I want to go over the top with it.
That means you had a picture of Tom Wynn on the screen?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
You want me to bring it back up?
No.
There it is.
Tom Wynn.
There he is. Tom, winner, chicken dinner. All right,
winner, chicken dinner. So, hey.
Yep. Moving right along, we got Clay. Here come the Huffstetler. Word up. All right. He has a picture of the great Pete Weber winning the 2012 PBA US Open. Quote, "Who do you think you are? I am."
I am.
Yeah. What? The greatest amalgamation of words in the history of words.
He was going to say something else, I think. Right? Didn't he say he was going to say something else, but that's what came out, and then it just kind of...
yeah. He was in a whirl of emotions. That was the 5th time him winning the U.S. Open. He's already known as like the bad boy of bowling and stuff like that. And so for him to basically beat all, it wasn't really beating all odds because he's that good of a bowler. But for him to finish the way he did, to win by 1 pin, and it just, it's just a bowl. Like,
but you know why he yelled that though? I think it was a 12-year-old kid was heckling him.
He
was yelling that at the kid.
He got mad at a 12-year-old.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw an interview with him where he said that he was like yelling, like some kid was giving him hell during that match.
And he said, "Who do you think you are? I am."
And the kid was like, there was always a line right before that, and he threw a little expletives out there. I did it. I told you I'd do it. Who do you think you are? I am. Well, wait a minute. Did that what? Say, like, I feel like whether I was somewhere, like, because I watch professional bowling from time to time, and I feel like I could have like watched it either live or like the day after, and I don't shut up. I ain't got time for this. But it was just one of those things where, like, it was a quick highlight right after the fact and everything like that. But I was like, "Who do you think you are? I am." That
guy was a clown, and so are you for watching him. Next.
Oh no!
Wow,
Scotty, what was the barber say?
Next,
I will have that argument with anybody that Pete Weber, like, that iconic line spread the sport of bowling in an infinite manner. Like, that was, thank you, Pete Weber, for being as animated as you are. Who do you think you are? I am. Next.
We got to find that picture of B-Live going. That bowling ball. He was doing his best Jordan impersonation. Yeah, like this. All right. All right, Marcus Wayne James, co-host of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast, along with myself and Brad B3. All right, he says the minor league baseball manager Phil Wellman goes nuts. The icing in the cake is that "Let's Stay Together" by Al Green was playing through the whole tirade. I had no idea the song was playing.
I
I,
remember
I,
watching this on. This was like a favorite of ESPN a few years back.
Yep.
I think was this the one where he was bear crawling and threw the
Army
grenade?
crawling. Yes,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah.
Oh man, that was wonderful. Picked up the bases and stealing the base. Oh my god, it was. I think it was a Mississippi team that we. I
Mud
think it was.
Hens. The Mississippi Mud Hens. Oh, that's that name sound
Yeah,
familiar?
I think that could have been it.
Mm.
But dude, epic,
Yeah.
absolutely
See, I thought it was a
epic.
little too calculated. I thought, once he made his point, he covered up the plate and then threw a base. When he started doing the crawl thing, at that point, I'm like, okay, this is more for show than at any point. He had already been tossed. And then he got to the outfield wall and like waved everybody and bowed, like took a curtain call as he
Didn't he take
went.
his shirt off and swing it around his head like a helicopter?
I don't know if he did that or
Or
I
he, or he turned his hat backwards and did a grenade. He was all it was.
yeah.
He was doing the most, and it was
Yeah.
just the name of the team is just the Mississippi Braves.
Okay, Mississippi Braves. Okay,
Yeah.
Braves affiliate heard.
Yeah. But I think they were did I just see double A. They're double A.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as much as I mean, yes, some of it could have been calculated, but that's what minor league baseball is. It is.
I guess. Yeah.
It is for the people, the crowd, and everything. Yes, some of it is professional baseball, but some of the antics. And he was like, you know what, this is the time, and and I'm here for it. Yeah,
Yep. Minor league baseball is great. We gotta go see the Savannah Bananas, man. That's a whole show and a half. That's wildly entertaining. All right, and shout out to everybody for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. With that being said, I'll go first. Fellas, I don't know if you remember, way back in 2001, there was a Sunday night football game involving the New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets. Ask me what the most notable moment of that game was, fellas.
What was the most notable moment? I'm trying to think. Was it
was this
Kyle Turley?
Susie Coleman?
No, Scotty D, you got it right. Kyle
Oh.
Turley. Kyle Turley. All right. As I'm reading here, yep. His career is best remembered by many for a 2001 incident which he ripped off an opposing player's helmet and tossed it downfield. Played a key factor in his team losing the game, but also earning the respect of many Saints fans in defense for protecting his quarterback. All right. So Kyle Turley says, you know what? You can try to hit my quarterback all you want to. I'm gonna take this helmet without your head in it and throw it down the field, and then I want you to do something. So
Yeah.
Kyle Turley said enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And a helmet went flying. So is it a meltdown, self-defense? I don't know, but it's a great moment in sports.
Yeah,
history.
yeah. That
Yep.
that perfectly fits into what we're talking about.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Scotty D, what say you?
Let me hear a B Lab guy because I have a couple written down. I don't want to steal any if he has anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, mine's pretty simple because there's a lot of meltdowns and everything like that, but one really just stuck out to me. Odell Beckham Jr. getting in a fight with the kicking.
Oh, on the airplane. On the airplane, is that what it was?
No, when he got in a fight with a kicking net on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he lost to the kicking net. He lost the fight to the kicking net in a full-on tirade. And the fact that later on when he celebrated a touchdown, he went up like this was another game, whatever. He went over and kissed the kicking net. So it was like a love-hate relationship and everything like that.
And proposed to it.
It was such an epic meltdown when when you just think about volatility in that locker room and how things went quickly south between Eli Manning and OBJ. What could have been, but that will always sit in my mind as just an epic meltdown of epic proportions.
Wow, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good one. I had not even thought of that.
So there you go, Scott. Hopefully I didn't step on any toes.
No, actually, there's a lot of these different ones. I thought I was going to write down like two. Then I kept thinking. I thought of John Chaney going after John Calipari at the press conference,
That's funny.
wanting to fight him. Speaking of golf, Phil Mickelson at the U.S. Open getting upset about the pin placement and hitting the ball while it was still moving back in 2018.
Jeez.
Putted one, and he just ran down past the hole and smacked it back. I did have Woody Hayes written down against Clemson. Eddie, I thought you might come up with Myles Garrett hitting Mason Rudolph with the helmet.
Clubbing him in the head.
But two of the ones that I came up with that were bigger. One, both are from boxing. One was Tyson biting Holyfield's ear. He was losing that fight. He was mad at Holyfield. He said it was headbutting him, so he chomped his ear off. Mm-hmm. And then there was another one. I actually watched this one live when it happened. But in 1994, Lennox Lewis got knocked out in the second round by Oliver McCall, which was a surprise. 3 years later, they had a rematch, and halfway through the fight, McCall stopped fighting, just dropped his arms, and started crying in the ring. Just fight was over. They had to end the fight because he just wasn't defending himself anymore. He had like a mental breakdown right there in the middle of the ring, and that was pretty much the end of Oliver McCall's career. I never really saw or heard anything from him again, but it was very strange. He was getting frustrated and just stopped defending himself, and the referee stepped in because he just started crying, and that was the end of the fight. So that was a crazy one. When we were talking about the minor league manager picking up the base, that reminded me of Lou Piniella melting down and throwing first base into the outfield.
Yeah. Sweet Lou. Yep.
Yeah, he had several meltdowns through the years, and
Be Live, our boy Bobby Cox had a few of them too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he had the most ejections in MLB history. Oh yeah. But yeah, we didn't opine a little bit more on Tom Wynn when he mentioned Jimmy Pearsall. Because people probably don't know, this was back in the 1950s. It was like during his rookie year, but he dealt with bipolar disorder, and it was actually like I saw a clip of a movie where it was portraying that moment, but essentially like he just completely lost his mind, like saying it's just not enough, and he like hit a inside the park home run or something like that, and ran, and it's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. And like literally just completely lost it after like scoring a run, and they had to like escort, like they had to forcefully restrain him and take him off the field. This was this was a movie parody, so I'm not necessarily know how accurate it is, but he ended up being elected to the Boston Hall of Fame. So he must have got it together. But yeah, this Tom Wynn, isn't he New England?
He likes Boston sports.
Oh, okay, so
he likes the Yankees too somehow, but he does like Boston, and he likes the Browns.
And the Browns.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
I got you. But yeah, I just wanted to opine on that because I was looking that up just to see what exactly he was talking about. But yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, good call on that one.
Yeah. So we wanted to opine on that, give the voices their time and everything. But yeah, who do you think you are?
Interesting meltdown. Interesting topic. That's a fun topic. We could probably sit here all day and come up with other ones. But
oh yeah, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week?
Next week, we're going to ask you to tell us about what your opinion is on the most exciting, or we can even say interesting, NBA Finals that you've ever watched. And
that's going to be a good one.
NBA Finals. What is your most interesting or favorite or most exciting, however you want to say it, but your most exciting NBA Finals? That'll give us something to talk about next week, Eddie. Cool.
All right. With that being said, we're making good on time, fellas. With that being said, that does it for another round of pepper. Another fourth thick of the head. Was it Freudian slip? Another edition of the Choice of the Voices. I've been sleep deprived. I didn't sleep too well last night. Can't you tell? But anyways, that about does it for another edition of the Choice of the Voices. Coming up next, Be Live. Grab the pepper grinder. There we go. It's coming up next. Around the Pepper. Right here. SportsBros Podcast. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. I need a...
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Enough of that, because guess what? All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get the hell up out of here. But before we go, a round of pepper. You know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style. Kind of, sort of, not really, here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. The 4 E's in no particular order. All right. And with that being said, I'll go first, fellas. Guess what? On this
What?
day in history,
What?
in 1960, a baseball game in Milwaukee was postponed due to dense fog. I pretty much imagine that you would really want to postpone a baseball game in dense fog. Can you just imagine trying to play in that?
Well, I wouldn't want to take a fastball at high height.
That's very dangerous. That's
No,
it.
no. This is like that guy the other day that was throwing 104 mile an hour pitches like every other pitch it was. I forgot what team it was, but I was like, yeah, just imagine getting beamed by one of those in dense fog. No fun, kids. If you play baseball, make sure the weather's nice or turn on some doggone lights. Over to you, Scotty D.
So at the PGA Championship this past week, a random test was given, and this happens, I guess, at all PGA events. This actually was not, I guess it was a PGA Championship. I don't know why the live guys are even there. Anyway, they test equipment, and Rory McIlroy's driver was deemed non-conforming. I'm not really sure what that meant, except that I hear the gist of it. I guess if you have a driver for a lengthy period of time, the face of it will thin out, causing it to have a more springy action of the ball jumping off the club of the face. That's what I got out of it. This angered Rory to the point that he did not even speak to reporters during this tournament. He was very unhappy. He had a bad tournament. You know, they randomly choose 50 golfers. You know who else got chosen and had their club deemed non-conforming? Scotty Scheffler. B-Live, over to you.
but he wins the whole time. Go ahead, B-Live. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, my first pepper point, and I didn't even really notice this because I don't watch that much Kansas City football. Well, especially as of late. But there's been a noticeable fan that's been missing from the sidelines of Kansas City games for the past couple of years. Dubbed Chiefsaholic. The reason why you haven't seen him, I mean, he usually dresses in a wolf costume and everything with a Chiefs jersey, everything like that.
What are you talking about?
Is, well, back in 2022, he went on a bank robbing spree. I guess he couldn't afford the games, and so he was actually he robbed the bank on the way to a game.
How the hell?
He was en route to a Chiefs game against Houston, Texas in December 22. He stopped in Bisbee, Oklahoma, and pointed a carbon dioxide pistol, not an actual gun, but but probably a BB gun.
A BB gun.
And robbed the credit union of $150,000. He was caught, released on bond a month later. He bet on the Chiefs, won, made $100,000. Then he took off his GPS monitoring device and went on the run, robbed a couple more banks, got arrested, got caught. But the reason why this story came out this week is because after the 17-and-a-half-year sentence he already got for robbing banks, they added an additional 32 years because of the subsequent banks that he robbed while he was out on the run.
Dog.
So the Chiefaholic will be behind bars, and you won't see him anymore at any Chiefs games. And he cool the ball.
Kids,
It ain't that serious. I promise you.
It ain't. It really ain't
that serious.
It really ain't. It really ain't. People, they go to great lengths, and sometimes you shouldn't. All right. All right. On this day of history, back in 1991, Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan is named the NBA's MVP. Yep. Michael
He was
Jordan.
good.
Yeah.
Good player.
Real good.
Good player.
Real good. often considered as one of the best of all time. One of the best of all time. You know what? I'm not going to have that age-old debate. If people think LeBron is great, good. If people think Jordan is great, it's good. Hey, come close, come close. You define greatness by eras, which means you got to add people and not leave people out. Remember who told you that? Me. Over to you, Scotty D.
So this past week, Pete Rose got reinstated to baseball after he died. Commissioner Rob Manfred reinstated Pete Rose. Now, I hear a lot of people saying that Pete Rose should still not be considered for the Hall of Fame, and many are in support of it. And and I see both sides, but let's look at it this way. Pete Rose was given a lifetime ban, and his life is over. So shouldn't the ban be over? The guy bet on his own team, and if that never happened, it didn't have anything to do with his playing career. I mean, he was Charlie Hustle, he's the all-time hits leader, and not to mention this also applied to Joe Jackson, who was suspended for his life because of the 1919 fixing the World Series scandal. Even though Shoeless Joe Jackson hit 375 in that World Series and was not at any of the meetings that the other players, the other 7 players were at when it came to fixing the game. So, put them guys in the Hall and let's just get it over with and be done with the age-old debate. Pete Rose, rest in peace. Maybe we'll see your bust in Cooperstown. Be Live, over to you.
Way overdue. But yeah, and then you wait until that's why I give people their flowers while they yet still live. Okay, and he deserves. So
and when I saw that, I hate Coach Bill. And when I first read that piece of news, I cussed for about 10 minutes straight. It's too late now.
Yeah,
go ahead. Somebody go ahead.
I mean, the family maybe, but yeah, that's a whole nother story within itself. People arguing about Pete Rose's family and the checkered past or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Pete Rose was amazing on the field. Put that man in the Hall.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds, too. All right. My second pepper point, Eddie Cool.
What's up, man?
Remember I was talking about Woody Hayes, and you heard the little disgust that I had for Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
And the Ohio State University.
And you almost threw up in your mouth, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do it again. Because an Ohio State lawmaker has proposed a bill that would issue fines of $10 million anytime Ohio State is scheduled for a noon kickoff, except for when its game against Michigan. Let me iterate a little bit further. Representative Tex Fisher out of Boardman proposed a bill on Wednesday, which would apply anytime a state university football team plays in a game in which both teams are ranked in the top 10 of the Associated Press poll. And those circumstances, games would not be allowed to have kickoffs before 3:30 p.m. How in the world would you even enforce this law? How? And this is what you do. This is what Eddie Cool, you live in Ohio.
I ain't got nothing to do that.
Your tax money, the money you pay in taxes is paying this dude to come up with this
foolishness. Foolishness. We're gonna call it foolishness. We're gonna call it what it is. Straight foolishness.
Ohio's
we're gonna find them at look. From Boardman. Go ahead, Be Live. Go ahead.
Do you understand why I despise Ohio State? Because of stuff like this. Because I think they're arguing about this year's game against Texas that opens up the season, and it opens up at noon. And he typed out a whole 2-page bill that was presented to the General Assembly of the state of Ohio for them to fine other teams because they don't like playing games at 11 o'clock in the morning. Or no, you're Eastern. They're Eastern.
Yeah, it's Eastern time zone.
It's noon.
Yeah, it's noon. So it don't make no sense.
Cut it out. They need to stop it. Eddie Cool. The ball.
They need to stop it.
I just think,
do better.
Yeah, do better. This is
they call Clemson fans a cult. this Ohio State stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous. It's just I don't understand. All right. Well, fellas, on this day in history back in 1997, Big Frank Thomas, the big unit for the Chicago White Sox, he reaches base safely for the 15th consecutive game. Frank Thomas, man, you ever see the way he swings at a baseball and hits the hell out of the ball? I mean, he hits it. He hits it. I bet he can cut down a tree with his bare hands, just swinging. Just Big Frank Thomas, man, the big unit, doing what he does best. Over to you, Scotty D.
On Sunday, against the Philadelphia Phillies, Paul Skeens pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 run, struck out 9, and he lost. His ERA on the season is 2.44. His record is 3-5. For 24 straight games, the Pirates have not scored more than 4 runs. I've said a lot before, but let me just say this. Run, Paul Skeens, run! Run for the hills, Paul Skeens. Head for the hills, run! Get away from Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens. Run! Until you arrive in New York. Be Live, over to you.
Be Live, next week I'll put up a Paul Skeens watch clock and Skeens watch.
Everybody in Pittsburgh feels bad from even Pirate fans want him to leave just because we like him and we know it's just torture for him.
I think in 11 appearances, I thought I saw this article on 11 appearances. He is allowed 19 runs in 11 appearances and is, as Scott mentioned, 3-5. 19 runs in 11 appearances, and yeah, that's rough. All right, third and final pepper point. Scotty D, I present this to you in more ways than one.
Bring it to me.
As we spoke earlier in the program, Scotty D is the DEI hire of the SportsBros podcast.
Oh boy, here we go.
And the star, right?
And when it comes to Scotty D, we are very thankful for his broad range of ability of different sports and everything. He's multicultural. He is very adapted to his own surroundings and all the things like that.
Why do I feel this has nowhere to go but down?
Oh, no, of course it's going to go down. Also, Scotty D has let us know about his disdain for a certain broadcaster by the name of Doris Burke.
Not her.
Doris Burke. See, what had happened was what we need to happen in this society that we live in is we need people to understand history, and there are things that have preceded what we know of today. But Doris Burke caught a lot of flack the other day because she was mentioning how a certain team went up 3-1 against the Boston Celtics. And when she was being elaborate, she used the entire government name of this team. And it sounded like a racial slur when she referred to them as the New York Knickerbockers. And people heard it and was like, did she just say what we thought? She said, no, she did not. Because the Knicks is just short for Knickerbockers. Do some type of research. But people just fly off the handle off of any little thing.
On the next episode of Fake Outrage.
They were calling for Doris Burke's job because she referred to the Knicks as the Knickerbockers.
I think I'd have taken it. I
knew it.
Strangely enough, I was going to ask you earlier if you knew where that name came from.
I know I've known it in the past. It does not jump to me as of right now.
It comes from the pseudonym used by Washington Irving in a book, A History of New York. It applied to Dutch settlers of what later became New York, and by extension to New Yorkers in general. Knickerbocker.
Oh,
Dutch,
okay.
Dutch settlers. Now, what that actually meant to them, I think would have to go a little bit further back to time. That's how the basketball team got the name. But
I thought that was another nickname for the capri pants. I don't know if women wear capri pants or more. I thought they always called capri pants knickerbockers. But I'm a man. I don't know these things.
Those were knickers, but I don't know if that was short
Knicker.
for knickerbockers. So I'm not sure.
That's
I'm not very
for us to
comfortable with the
research.
subject matter though. I don't want to say that word too fast.
Yeah. No, bad. You better cancel SportsBros podcast and hit the report button. No, you're not going to do that. You are not going to do that. All right.
While we're doing that, I'm gonna go get me a Eastern Michigan jersey.
I
With
know.
some,
Don't you do it. I know he's going to do it. They're available. I know he's going
I
to
knew
do
that
it.
was coming too.
I knew that was coming too. And with that being said, thank you for watching and listening to the Sports Bros podcast. If you're loving the show, do us a quick favor, hit that follow button, give us a like, make sure you share, subscribe, so you never miss an episode. Whether you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, watch us on YouTube, Facebook Live, just hit that button, hit that bell, and get the party started. And your support helps us keep going each and every week to bring the heat. Also, follow all social medias, all of our social medias. Just click the Linktree link in the description box or the chat box and keep up with the Sports Bros. Thank you to our 100 plus subscribers. With that being said, episode 297 is in the books. 2 more from 300. And in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for something else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. And as always, thank you for watching and listening to the Sports Bros podcast. I'll do better next week, y'all. I'll be well rested. Beat out, take us home.
yes, sir.
Yeah, B Live. I saw that Eastern Michigan jersey too. I was like, I ain't gonna tell B Live about it. I'm gonna see if he sees it. And he did. And he did. Hey y'all, we out here. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Bye. See you next week.